Hey there, it's CJ Willie and I'm cracking a pack today. I'm back with pack number 4 in my 1987 Donruss Wax Pack Mustard Rookie Card Chase. I've included the link to the video when I cracked the first pack. In that video I explain what I'm chasing. I've also created this nifty checklist to show what we've pulled as we crack all these mustard packs. So, 3 packs in and haven't been able to check anything off. So after I crack the pack, I'm going to choose the best card of the pack. That doesn't mean it has to be a rookie, superstar, or Hall of Famer. It can be something funny in the photo, something that's interesting about the player, or maybe some memory I had of the player from back in the 1980s. So since we didn't pull anything from the list in packs 1, 2, or 3, let's get cracking pack 4 and start checking off some of these rookie chase cards. Okay. So, hopefully there's going to be something great in these packs. See if I've got them. Yep, got them turned the right way. Okay, so we start off with the Roberto Clemente puzzle piece. Hopefully, I will be able to get all the puzzle pieces and put together the puzzle for the review video. All right, first player is Buddy Bell. I think he was pretty underrated as a player. If you go to his baseball reference and look at his career statistics, maybe he was a guy that played forever and piled up a lot of stats, but he was an all-star a few times. If I remember correctly, he was over 2,000 hits for his career and played a demanding position at third base. So I definitely think he was an underrated player. Next card, Don Carmen. Came up with the Phillies. I think he came up as a starter to begin with and then eventually became a lefty reliever. Okay, Al Nipper. Al Nipper. I always got a good laugh out of his name. Seemed to be kind of a very simple, like Al and Nipper. He was on the '86 Red Sox team that went to the World Series. Started out as a starting pitcher, but then eventually, became a middle reliever. Okay, next card is, we got someone stuck to Al. Tim Pierzynski. So he, I think on his 87 Topps card was listed as a future star. I don't remember much about Mr. Tim and what he did in his career, so I don't think that he really panned out as a future star. Marty Barrett's starting second baseman with the Red Sox for a number of years, took over for Jeremy Remy. After Remy retired, he went up to the broadcast booth, but Marty Barrett was the starting second baseman for a good 5, 6, 7 years. Dave Parker. In some of my previous videos, I've talked about Dave Parker. He had a Hall of Fame trajectory, starting with the Pirates, and then ran into some drug problems. Missed about 3 or 4 good seasons out of his career. Got to the Reds, kind of reinvented himself. I mean, he's a borderline Hall of Famer. I mean, I think he's in the same crowd as Jim Rice, Dwight Evans, Dale Murphy. I do think that Dave Parker should be a Hall of Famer. Mariano Duncan, we've talked about him as well. Speedy dude. He was famous for the bunt doubles, bunt triples. One of my favorite memories is I was watching the Dodgers and Cardinals NBC Game of the Week. Duncan bunts it down the third base line. Terry Pendleton decides to see if it'll roll foul. It doesn't, and Duncan ends up on third base with a bunt triple. Oh, there we go. Cool. We'll get to mark something off. All right, Mark McGwire. This isn't his rookie card. It is his first year Donruss card. His rookie card is a 1985 Topps Olympic card that's pretty well recognized. But back in the day, this card was going for as high as $20 to up to $50 when McGwire was in the home run chase. Mark McGwire is one of my favorite players. Obviously, during his time with the Cardinals, I really enjoyed watching him. Once again, I think he's a Hall of Famer. I know he got caught up in the entire steroids era, and there were a number of players doing steroids. We don't even know who was doing it unless they came out and admitted it. McGwire did, publicly apologized. I think McGwire should be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, if Barry Bonds is going to be in the Hall of Fame, which I think he eventually will, and some of the players that are already in the Hall of Fame that had this steroid suspicion around them, McGwire should be in there because at least he admitted doing it and apologized for it. The card itself isn't in the most pristine condition. It's got a little bit of white flaking Don't know if you can see it right there at the top. Other than that, the corners will look pretty good. It is off center, as you can tell that the baseballs don't match up, but great card to pull out of the pack, and the first one we get a mark off in our chase. Chris Bosio was a starting pitcher with the Brewers. Eventually, I think he had injuries. He became a pitching coach, and then infamously with the Cubs said some very racially insensitive comments, and I don't think he'll ever be hired again in Major League Baseball. Kurt Young came up as a starting pitcher with the A's. He was part of the A's run of playoffs from 88 through 90. Started out as a starting pitcher and then became more of a lefty reliever toward the end of his career. Charlie Kerfield, during 1986, he was a very popular rookie. Didn't have the best physique, kind of a little bit of a roly-poly guy. Famously, I can't remember who they were playing. I think it may have been the Reds. He goes to cover third base on a throw, turns to the opponent's dugout, which I think was the Reds' dugout, and asked if anyone had a six-pack. Kent Hrbek spent a number of years with the Twins, won world championships in 1987, 1991. Power hitting first baseman. I think he finished his career with right around 250 to 300 home runs. Was pretty much a main cog in the Twins' playoff runs. Kirby Puckett, Ken Hrbek, Tom Brunensky, a lot of those players helped fuel the Twins to their success in the mid to late 80s. Bruce Ruffin came up as starting pitcher with the Phillies, then spent the vast majority of his career with Phillies, Rockies. I'm trying to think of one other team as a lefty reliever. Terry Poole, he came up with the Astros and was their starting, I think, left fielder or center fielder for about 3 or 4 years. Didn't have a ton of pop. Eventually became, the fourth outfielder, defensive guy, pinch hitter. But he lasted a number of years. I think his rookie year was in 77 or 78, and he had about a 12-year career. This card is pretty much toward the end of his playing career. And then Tom Brookins. Tom was part of the 1985 Tigers World Series, or 84 World Series team. He was a platoon guy at third base. Spent a number of years kind of as the better half of the platoon. He had a little bit of pop, didn't hit for much average, and had quite a few strikeouts. I think the best card and my favorite card out of the pack is an easy one today because it's our first check off in the Mustard Rookie Card Chase. McGuire made himself a household name when he came up, set the American League rookie record for home runs in a season, which has since been broken. Went on to set the single season home run record, which Barry Bonds broke about 3 years later. I think that Mark McGuire should be in the Hall of Fame. I think that at least he was one of the guys that came out, admitted that he did take steroids during an era where just about every player was, apologized for it. That doesn't necessarily make it right, but I think it puts him ahead of all the other players that have just kind of remained silent. I'm looking at you, Barry Bonds, claiming that everything was normal and you just, everything all of a sudden came together when you're well past 30. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe and share. Also, in the comment section, tell me what your favorite card was or what you thought was the best card out of the pack. We get a mark off Mr. McGuire with today's poll. So until next time, when I crack the next yellow pack of 1987 Donruss goodness in my Mustard Rookie Card Chase.